Dear friends, today I am available with a new topic, that is air refrigeration cycle, in which in detail we will discuss about Bell-Coleman cycle, which is a part of engineering thermodynamics subject for the third semester mechanical engineering students. Friends, before we will discuss about air refrigeration cycle, we have to discuss some terminology related to the refrigeration system. So first we have to discuss what is meaning of refrigeration process, that is definition, and then we have to discuss what is called refrigerant, refrigerator, etc. So in this slide, first we have to discuss what is refrigeration process. Here in the list you find some different definitions mentioned by different authors related to refrigeration. Refrigeration in general is to produce and maintain a temperature lower than ambient temperature. Here you can find some definitions related to refrigeration. And we all are aware that refrigeration is a common term in all human activities. So now we will discuss what is called refrigerant and refrigerator. Now the other term which we have to understand is refrigerant. So refrigerant may be defined as a working substance in a cycle which absorb the heat from low temperature system and reject the heat to the high temperature system while undergoing a phase change. So this definition itself is telling lot many things. First, it is a working substance. So there may be a question in your exam, what do you mean by working substance? Also, it is showing that here the temperature difference is observed, low temperature system and high temperature system. And the third thing is it undergoes a phase change. So again I am repeating, refrigerant may be defined as the working substance in a cycle in which absorb the heat from the low temperature system and reject the heat to the high temperature system while undergoing phase change. So the widely used refrigerant includes air, water, carbon dioxide, R12 and R22. Friends, now we have to discuss the next term, that is refrigerator. So it is widely known as freeze. So refrigerator is a device which works on refrigeration process and which is used to produce and maintain a low temperature is known as a refrigerator. Now the refrigerator is a device which is working on the second law of thermodynamics, Clausius statement. So the statement is mentioned here. The statement states that it is impossible to construct a device that operates in a cycle and produces no effect other than transfer of heat from lower temperature body to higher temperature body. So according to this second law of thermodynamics, this is reverse cycle heat engine, which is a power consuming device. So in exam point of view, either it is a GATE exam or any competitive exam, the question may be there, refrigerator is working on which law of thermodynamics or which statement of second law of thermodynamics. So we must remember that refrigerator is working on the second law of thermodynamics and it is Clausius statement. So statement is shown here. Now according to the figure number 3, the Clausius statement is shown in pictorial way. So 3a is not possible, 3b is possible. So what is 3a indicating? So here you can see there is a source that is at T1 temperature. There is a sink which is at T2 temperature. Definitely the source is at higher temperature than the sink. So T1 is greater than T2. So you can see that from the sink Q2 amount of heat is absorbed by the refrigerator and that Q1 amount of heat that will be rejected at source side. So the figure number 3a is telling that to do this process no work is done. So W is 0. So when no work is done and heat is taken from the low temperature body and that will be thrown at higher temperature body, that is not possible. Our spontaneous process is telling that always heat transfer takes place from higher temperature to lower temperature. But if you want to go in the reverse way, 3B is possible. What you can see is that Q2 amount of heat that will be taken by the system, it from the low temperature, some work is done on the system, and Q1 amount of heat that will be rejected to the source. So to transfer the heat from lower temperature to higher temperature, we have to consume some amount of work. And if you see the direction, it is a counterclockwise or anti-clockwise direction. So you must remember that when you are drawing the sketch, or when you are drawing the schematic or PV diagram or TS diagram, in any of cycle, either it is a power consuming cycle or it is a power producing cycle, direction is very important. If it is anti-clockwise direction, it means it is a power consuming device. If it is a clockwise direction, means it is a power producing cycle or power producing device. Now you can see some application of refrigeration. So the application of refrigeration can be classified in three groups. One is industrial processes, second is preservation of commodities, and third is providing comfortable environment. So now we will discuss in brief about all these three groups. Now the first part is in industrial processes. So for processing of food product and beverages, in processing of petroleum, tobacco and other chemical product, in cooling of concrete for the dam, in processing of dairy product, textile and printing works, in medical and in surgical aids, we are using refrigeration process. So whenever we want to go for lower temperature, you find these are some places in industry where low temperature is required. That include food industry, chemical industry, dairy industry, textile and printing industry, as well as in medical science. Now friend, you can see the other applications that is in other group, that is preservation of perishable commodities. So that is for producing ice or producing chilling water, preservation of vegetables, eggs, meat, fruit, that is perishable commodities, as well as for preservation of blood and human organ, we require low temperature, and hence that is satisfied with refrigeration process. Next is providing comfortable environment. So when we talk about central air conditioning system used in airplanes, hospitals, hotels, theaters, mall, offices, resident, etc., where by providing central air conditioning system, we are creating comfortable zone. As well as for industrial air conditioning system also, we are using refrigeration process. So you can find that refrigeration process is widely used in our routine life, in industry, as well as in lot many other applications include the aircraft and space applications. Now we all are aware that the refrigerator is a power consuming device or it is a power consuming cycle. So whenever we want to know performance of any power consuming system, we have to use certain terms. So now we have to find out what is called the performance of refrigerator. See, the purpose of refrigerator is to extract the heat from the body to be cooled, and hence the amount of heat extracted in a given time will be the net refrigerant effect. The rating of refrigerating machine is obtained by a refrigerating effect, or that is called cooling capacity rate. The unit of refrigeration is commonly expressed as ton of refrigeration TR. So how we are defining ton of refrigeration? This is very important for your competitive exam point of view. This is also important. The unit of refrigeration is also expressed in terms of ton of refrigeration, TR. Now what is definition of TR? 1 TR. 1 ton of refrigeration, that is 1 TR, is defined as the amount of refrigeration effect produced by uniform melting of 1 ton, that is around 1000 kg of ice from an 8 0 degree Celsius, means ice is available at 0 degree Celsius, and when it will melt the temperature is 80 degree Celsius within 24 hours in 1 bar, that is at 1 atmospheric pressure. Within 24 hours 1 ton of ice melt from an 80 degree Celsius. In that case, the amount of refrigerant effect produced is known as 1 TR. So when we go for calculation, 1 TR, that is 1000 into 335 in 24 hours. 335, that is the latent heat of ice. So 1000 into 335 divided by 24 hours into 60, means now we are converting hour into minutes. So our answer is 232.6 kilojoule per minute. If we want to convert that unit into kilojoule per second, again we have to divide it by 60. So the answer which is available, that is 3.5 kilojoule per second, or it is called 3.5 kilowatt. So in actual practice, 1 ton of refrigeration is taken as equivalent of 3.5 kilowatt or 210 kilojoule per minute. Now we have to discuss the next important term, that is called heat load or refrigeration load, or it is also known as a cooling load. So the rate at which heat must be removed from the system or from the cabinet in order to produce and maintain the desired condition is called heat load, refrigeration load, or cooling load. So you must aware that we are talking about a cabinet or system in which we have to produce and maintain a temperature. So in most applications related to refrigeration, the total load on the refrigerating system can be sum of, you can say, first is heat transfer by conduction through insulated wall, because the insulation which we are using, the insulating material which we are using, that is not perfect. So definitely some amount of heat that will be continuously leaking into it. Second, heat enters the refrigerated space by opening or closing of the door. So when we'll go for opening or closing of the door, some amount of heat that will be leaked into the system, and we have to remove that. Now the next part or the next place from where the heat can be entered into the system, that include the people working in that space, or you can say electric motor is available, or you can say light is available, or some heat producing equipment are available, or all these things are available. So when all these are available, 1, 2 and 3, the total summation is telling that this is the amount of heat that is entering into the system, heat is leaking into the system. So whenever you want to produce and maintain the temperature, we have to remove all the 3 possibilities or all the 3 ways through which heat is leaking into the system. Now we have to discuss about aircraft refrigeration. So in case of aircraft refrigeration system, air is working as a refrigerant in this system. In older days, air was widely used to develop the cooling, because air is lighter in weight, air does not undergo a phase change, and it is available at free of cost. But after several years, we observe that when we use air as a working substance, we will observe low value of coefficient of performance COP. Air has poor heat carrying capacity per kg of air, and it required very high power requirement. Hence, it was not used for several years. But again, after that, it is found that when we will go for aircraft, lightweight and lower volume is a very important criteria. So instead of going with any other refrigeration system, we have to go with we have to go with air as a working substance, because when we are considering the aircraft, at that time, as I told, that lighter in weight and lower volume is important criteria. So again, air refrigeration system is come in picture, and in detail we have to discuss about air refrigeration cycle. Friends, now when we are talking about aircraft refrigeration system, the question will come in our mind that aircraft is flying at very high altitude. So when it is flying at very high altitude, definitely temperature is lower. Then we think that why there is the necessity of cooling or air conditioning. So friend, you find that whenever higher is the altitude, lower is the temperature, but at the same time, the pressure is also lower, and you know that the passengers are there in the cabin with some external and internal heat sources with the aircraft. So when the passengers or human beings are available, we must have to maintain temperature of air that is around 23 degrees Celsius. Pressure we have to maintain, that is 1 bar. At the same time, -7 degrees Celsius is required for the preservation of foods and drinks which is there in the aircraft. So we want a wide temperature variation. You can say -27 degrees, -7 degrees Celsius to 23 degrees Celsius. So even though higher is the altitude, lower is the temperature, we need air conditioning or cooling system in aircraft. Now friend, we have discussed okay, what are the internal and external sources which are generating the heat. Because of that we have to go for the cooling system. So you can find here some external source of heat which are responsible for leaking the heat into the cabinet. So first is heat from the sun. Second is the temperature of air entering the cabin. Third is rise in air temperature due to skin friction over the body of aircraft, that is at 1000 km per hour, 50 degrees Celsius rise in the air temperature is observed. So these are, you can say, some external sources which are responsible for leaking the heat into the cabinet. And when we want to maintain the temperature of the cabinet, we have to remove continuously this much amount of heat. So the cooling or air conditioning system is required. There may be question in your exam, what are the internal and external source of heat in the aircraft? So now the internal source of heat that include the heat flow from the human body or from occupants. Heat generated by the electrical and electronics components and equipments. Heat flow from engine parts of the aircraft. So these three are the major sources of internal heat generation, and when these internal heat sources are available, again the cabinet temperature is rising. We have to control that temperature. So now we have to discuss Bell-Coleman cycle, which is also known as Joule cycle, or it is also known as reverse Brayton cycle for aircraft refrigeration system. So now friends, we will discuss about Bell-Coleman cycle. So this schematic is talking about working of Bell-Coleman cycle, where you can find four major components are there that include compressor, air cooler, turbine and refrigerating chamber. So one by one we will discuss what are the function of these devices and how this will work. And after that we have to find out what is the performance of this cycle in terms of coefficient of performance COP. So now 1 to 2 process is the process that takes place into the compressor. So here you can see the compressor is a rotating compressor and it is a power consuming device. So at back side of the compressor you will observe the shaft is there and that is connected with the motor M. So at state 1 the air is entering into the compressor that will be compressed, And at state 2, high pressure, high temperature air is available. So now that high pressure, high temperature air that will enter into the air cooler. So the process 2 to 3 is talking about rejection of heat. So what happens? High pressure, high temperature air that will enter into the air cooler. Now this air cooler is a non-contact type of heat exchanger where there is no direct contact between two fluids. So you can find that from one side the water is entering and from one side high temperature, high pressure air is entering. So there is an exchange of heat takes place between the water and air. Air temperature will reduce. So low temperature, high pressure air that will enter into the rotating device called turbine. So in the turbine, the air that will expand and the expanded air is available at state 4. So now the air which is available at state 4 is a low temperature, low pressure air. And here the temperature at exit of the turbine is lower than T1 temperature. So when the temperature at state 4 is lower, again it has to rise the temperature from state 4 to 1, and to rise the temperature what is required is it will flow through the refrigerating chamber. So the air which is available at state 4 has tendency to absorb the heat. So this is used to reduce the temperature of our cabinet. So this air which has tendency to absorb the heat is allowed to flow through the refrigerating cabinet or through the aircraft cabin. So it will absorb the heat from the cabinet. Here you can see there is a brine solution. So the heat is absorbed from the brine solution. The brine solution temperature is dropping and the air temperature will rising. The air temperature will rise up to T1 and again the same cycle is repeated. So the refrigerating chamber is the place where you can say our cabinet is available and the heat is absorbed from the cabinet and temperature is maintained. So now the same process is plotted on the PV diagram and on the TS diagram. So we will discuss in detail about these processes in the next diagram. So this is a diagram for ideal reverse Brayton cycle TS and PV diagram. So in the exam the question may be there. You have to draw this diagram, that is TS diagram and PV diagram, or in competitive exam the question may be there including the processes. So you find that the process 1 to 2 that takes place in the rotary compressor is isentropic compression process, where you will observe that entropy 8.1 and entropy 8.2 remain same. So it is a straight vertical line and you can see from the line that there is a rise in the temperature, as well as if you see the PV diagram you can say because of the rise in the temperature and rise in the pressure the volume is decreased. So 1 to 2 is a compression process where the pressure and temperature of air will increase and the volume is decreased. Now the process 2 to 3 is the constant pressure heat rejection process that takes place in the air cooler. So 1 to 2 process on the TS diagram indicate that the temperature is dropping, but when the 2 to 3 process you will see on the PV diagram, you will observe it is constant pressure process, and again you observe in that case is volume is decreased. So 2 to 3 process is a constant pressure heat rejection process. Now 3 to 4 process which you will observe, that is isentropic expansion process into the expander or in the rotary turbine, and because of that what you will observe is 8 process 3 to 4, it is a straight vertical line which is drooping characteristic. S3, that is entropy at state 3 and entropy at state 4 remains same, and you will observe that the T4 temperature is lower than T1 temperature. So now the process 4 to 1, which is a constant pressure heat addition process that takes place in the refrigeration chamber, where you will observe that when the heat is absorbed from the chamber, the temperature of air will increase from T4 to T1. You can see on the TS diagram. At that time you can see on the PV diagram that the pressure remains same and volume is increased. So if we'll talk about the TS diagram, process 1 to 2 that takes place in the rotary compressor, and process 3 to 4 that takes place in the rotary turbine, both are isentropic process, whereas process 2 to 3 and process 4 to 1 are isobaric process, that is constant pressure process. The important thing is the arrow, it is counterclockwise direction, and you must aware that it is a power consuming cycle. So now what we had discussed, same thing is mentioned here, the process 1 to 2, 2 to 3, 3 to 4, and in next slide you find process 4 to 1. So just go through this, what we had discussed, same thing is mentioned here for the Bell-Coleman cycle. Okay, refer for process 4 to 1, that is constant pressure heat addition process, where you will observe the temperature of air increase from T4 to T1, that is equals to TL, that is the lower temperature, and the air after this enters into the rotary compressor and the cycle is repeated. So we are discussing the closed cycle, that is ideal, reverse Breton cycle, or it is Bell-Coleman cycle. We had discussed that the air after process 4 to 1 enter into the rotary compressor and the cycle is repeated. So now we have to find out what is the coefficient of performance for Bell-Coleman cycle. So when we consider 1 kg of air that is flowing through the cycle, the refrigerating effect or the heat absorbed Q, that is equals to Cp into T1 minus T2 in terms of kilojoule per kilogram, whereas the heat rejected, that is QR or Q rejected, that is equals to Cp into T2 minus T3. So what is the work supplied by the compressor? WC, that is heat absorbed and heat rejected. So that is Cp into T2 minus T3 minus T1 minus T4. So now what is the coefficient of performance? The coefficient of performance is ratio of effect divided by effort. So what is the effect? That is refrigerating effect. And what is the effort? That is compression work. So what is refrigerant effect? That is RE. What is the compression work? That is WC. So COP, that is refrigerant effect, that is T1 minus T4. And what is work input? That is T2 minus T3 minus T1 minus T4. So COP for the Bell-Coleman cycle is refrigerant effect divided by compression work. So the compression work is known to you, and what is the effect? That is refrigerant effect, that is T1 minus T4. So now that is about ideal cycle, and now we have to consider the case where the difference is observed between ideal cycle and actual cycle. Now this slide is talking about the actual TS and PV diagram for Bell-Coleman cycle. So how the actual cycle varies or how the actual cycle differ from the ideal cycle that is shown here with a TS and PV diagram. So it is very much clearly observed in the TS diagram that the process 1 to 2s, that is ideal process. 2s means it is isentropic process, but actual process is 1 to 2. As compressor is a power consuming device and actual compressor is consuming more power than ideal compressor. Because of that, what you will observe is in the compressor the work which is required, that is more. Now the point 2 to 3 dash is the actual heat rejection takes place into the air. We know that air cooler is a heat exchanger and there is pressure drop observed due to the friction in the heat exchanger. Because of that, ideally we are considering that process 2 to 3 is the constant pressure process, but the diagram is telling that 2 to 3 dash, where 3 dash is at lower pressure, means slight pressure drop is observed in the heat exchanger. Now the 3 to 4, or you can say 3 dash to 3s, 3 dash to 3s is the expansion of the air into the turbine, that is ideal. But 3 dash to 4, 3 dash to 4 is the actual expansion of the air in the turbine. We know that in the actual case the power producing device will produce less power because of expander efficiency or because of turbine efficiency. The actual expansion process is not isentropic due to the friction, and because of that we have to consider the isentropic efficiency of turbine, and because of that we can observe that the actual process is 3 dash to 4 instead of 3 dash to 3s. And now again you can see in the TS diagram that from 4 to 1 when we are moving, you can see again there is a drop in the pressure. So 4 to 1 is our cabinet. Again it is a heat exchanger, and when it is a heat exchanger, due to friction there is a drop in the pressure, and because of that you will find that the process 4 to 1 again is not a constant pressure process. Slight drop in the temperature, slight drop in the pressure is observed. So here the same thing is mentioned in the heat exchangers, that is in air cooler and in cabinet the pressure drop is observed. So it is not a constant pressure heat addition or heat rejection process. In the similar way, in the compressor and turbine, due to isentropic efficiencies and due to friction, the more compression work is observed and less turbine work is obtained. So this is about Bell-Coleman cycle. You can find the major disadvantage of Bell-Coleman cycle is need of tremendous amount of air for the cooling load, and you know that air is having low specific heat, poor heat transfer coefficient and high specific volume, that will lead towards low coefficient of performance, higher power consumption and heavy design of air refrigeration cycle. So this is Bell-Coleman cycle in which some modifications are made, and that is convert into the feasible cycle for aircraft. For preparation of this video, the help is taken from the book of Refrigeration and Air Conditioning by Alpesh Mehta and Pinkel Choksi. In next video, we will discuss in general about vapor compression refrigeration cycle, that is VCR cycle. Stay tuned with us. Have a nice day. Goodbye.